If you want to get hired as a data analyst and you don't yet have the experience, you may find yourself in a frustrating situation. We've all had to go through this in our careers, so let me give you a few tips. Employers care about one thing, and that's making money. So there's two really big things that they're going to consider when they're making a hiring decision. First, they want to avoid spending any more money than they have to when they're hiring. And second, when they actually hire someone, they don't want to accidentally end up in a situation where they're spending a bunch of money training and working with an employee versus having that employee make money for the company. An example of this would be where the company hires an employee and then another coworker has to spend a lot of time trying to train and elevate that new hire. Or a worse situation might be where the company hires someone, they continue to invest in that person's training and development, only to find out that that person really can't do the job. Now, this is where your situation comes into play. If you don't have experience in the field, then you really don't have that proof that employers are looking for that's going to help them make them a little less nervous about their hiring decision. Now, it's your job to overcome that belief and potential issue, so here's a couple things to keep in mind. First, you have to show initiative with your learning and you have to do it better than anybody else. When you're working on those courses and you're taking your training, are you trying to be the best? If not, you really should be because you're competing with other people and you want to be the best. The bottom line is when you're doing your training, there are no shortcuts, and those courses that are out there doing an hour's worth of training, trying to promise you the world, those are not going to cut it. Second, you have your portfolio, which is helping to market your work and show that you're taking initiative. But again, when you build your portfolio, you need to make it amazing. You need to make it better than anybody else. Third, now you're going to need somebody to take a chance on you, and this frequently comes through relationships or based on luck. Now, you can't control luck, but you can control building those relationships. This is where you want to get out and you want to network with other folks at meetup groups, conferences, or anywhere else where you can have that face-to-face conversation and chat. When you do, assuming that you come across as being polite and intelligent and that you have interest in the field, you'll build relationships that could one day lead to you getting referred into a job. And fourth is to work on getting a job through an internal transfer at the place that you're working today. These can be one of the best ways that you can get an analytics position. If you're already working at the company and you're doing a great job, then you've already built up some relationships and you've built up some good rapport with other people. Then when you bring in this portfolio and that extra initiative that you've been showing, you're going to have a leg up on the competition. Now, if you don't have one of those jobs today, this means that sometimes you might need to consider taking a job in a position that's not necessarily the analytics position you want, but it does get your foot in the door. So if you're doing all these things today, what I would encourage doing is inspecting to see what is working and what isn't working. That way you can make certain adjustments. And if you're not working on these things now, I'd recommend starting today. You're not going to regret it down the road.